They say Easter is about rebirth, a rising from the dead, a celebration of light conquering darkness. But for me, it will always be the season of shadows, of watching eyes, of unholy whispers. I was 35 when I finally admitted to myself that I'd never really moved past that night. The memory still clings to me like damp wool. It was 2 years ago, on Holy Saturday, the midnight mass. I remember the weight of the candle in my hand, the delicate scent of beeswax blending with the sharp cold air. Orthodox churches hold a deep ritualistic beauty in the Easter vigil, chanting in low tones, the rhythmic swing of incense, the velvet night filled with sacred sound. It's supposed to be comforting, holy, but something followed me that night. Something found me. It was a cold spring, unnaturally cold. Even bundled in my thick coat, I could feel the wind sliding down my collar like skeletal fingers. I'd gone to Mass alone that year. My parents were visiting my brother in Munich, and I hadn't felt like tagging along. I thought a quiet Easter at home might be peaceful, reflective. God, I was so wrong. Mass had just ended. The priest gave his final blessing, and we all emerged from the candlelit church, our flames flickering like stars in the blackness. The tradition is to take the blessed flame home, light your home icon with it, and keep it burning through the night, a symbol of Christ's eternal light. I took the long way home, not because I wanted to, but because a group of teenagers had lit firecrackers near the square and the noise had startled me. I turned down a side street to avoid them, one lined with grim old apartment buildings and hulking garbage bins, the kind that look like tombs tipped sideways. That's when I saw the mirror. It was propped against one of the bins, an antique with cracked brass frame and foggy glass. Strange, the way it leaned there like it had been placed, not discarded. I paused. Something about it, I can't explain it. It was like being stared at. Drawn in, I stepped closer. The candle in my hand fluttered dangerously, almost guttering out, but I shielded it instinctively with my free palm. I looked into the mirror, and I saw someone. It wasn't my reflection. It looked like me, but it wasn't. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow and darker than they should have been, as if someone had scooped the soul out of her and left only the casing. She was wearing what I was wearing, but the scarf was stained, the coat slashed. Blood, fresh, red, wet, clung to the collar. I blinked. She blinked too, but not in sync. I turned away in horror, my heart crashing in my chest. And still, for some reason, I looked again. This time the mirror was empty. The street was silent. No footsteps, no voices, no movement. Just the wind and the soft hiss of my own breath. I didn't run. I should have. But I walked fast toward home, the candle still burning, though it trembled in my hand like it knew something. And all the while, I felt it. The presence, like someone walking just a few steps behind me. The sense that if I turned too quickly, I'd see her, the mirror woman. I live on the 3rd floor of an old building with a creaky elevator I never trust, so I took the stairs, climbing them 2 at a time. I didn't dare look out the windows on the landings. I didn't dare stop to catch my breath. When I reached my door, I fumbled with my keys. My hands were shaking so badly I dropped them twice. The hallway was dark, the overhead bulb humming weakly, casting weird shadows along the walls. When I finally got inside, I slammed the door shut and bolted it. I didn't light the icon. I was too shaken. I just stood there in the dark, the candle the only source of light. The flame flickered violently now, leaning toward the hallway, as if pulled by an invisible draft. I blew it out, and the apartment was swallowed in darkness. I should have gone straight to sleep, but I couldn't. My skin was crawling. Every corner of my apartment felt off, like it had shifted just slightly when I was out. The air was thicker, the shadows longer. I checked every room. The windows were locked. Nothing was out of place. But the mirror, I kept seeing her. In my mind, behind my eyelids, in the vague reflections in the window glass, her hollow stare. The blood. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening. The old radiator clicked and hissed. My upstairs neighbor's TV muttered faintly through the floor. The wind picked up outside, brushing against the building like it was searching for a way in. Then came the knock. 3 soft raps. I froze. It came from the front door. I checked the time. 2:13 a.m. Who the hell knocks at that hour? Another knock. Slower. Deliberate. I sat up in bed, my skin prickling. My apartment is small. I could see the hallway from my bedroom. There was no sound now, just silence so deep it rang in my ears. Then, from under the door, a shadow, a pair of feet, bare, pale, motionless. I couldn't breathe. The knocking didn't come again, but the feet stayed. I watched them for what felt like hours, unmoving, like it knew I was watching back. My mouth was dry. My heart was beating so hard it hurt. Then, slowly, one foot lifted. Then the other. The shadow moved away. I didn't sleep. Not that night. Not the next either. In the days that followed, strange things began happening. I found droplets of water in front of my mirror every morning, though I never used it after the incident. Once, the bathroom mirror was fogged, as if someone had taken a hot shower, though I hadn't. I started avoiding all reflections, even turning around picture frames with glass. I asked around. None of my neighbors had seen anything unusual. I even asked an old priest about it. He looked disturbed, told me never to look into mirrors at night, especially on Easter. Said it was an old belief, that spirits can pass through when the veil is thinnest. Sometimes, he whispered, what you see isn't just a reflection. Sometimes it's an invitation. A week later, I dreamed of her. I was standing in the middle of the street where I'd seen the mirror, holding my candle. The mirror was there again, but this time it wasn't broken. It was pristine, glistening, and she was inside, smiling. I dropped the candle. She reached out of the glass. Her hand was slick and cold. She touched my cheek, and I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I woke up with a bruise on my cheek, exactly where she touched me. I tried to move on. Truly, I did. I got rid of every mirror in my house. I started sleeping with the lights on. I even bought a nightlight like a child, something I hadn't done since I was 5. But sometimes late at night, I still hear the knock. Always 3 times. Never more, never less. Always soft, always sure. Sometimes I see fog on the inside of my windows in the morning. Once I found a damp footprint on my bed. Just one. And sometimes when I pass by a mirror in someone else's house, I swear for the briefest moment I don't see myself. I see her. The other me. The one with blood on her collar and eyes like open graves. I don't know what she is, but I know she's waiting.